There we go. Welcome. It's Monday Morning Musings again. Every 2 weeks, Tara from TSW Life Coaching and we have just general conversation about the energy of what's going on and what is happening in the world or whatever comes up. We also today have Marliana Alisemon. I'm hoping I said that right. Worldwide medium Marliana Alisemon. She's from Calgary. She's a healer. She's a medium. She's a deep empath. She also has her own podcast that she does often, and I actually was on it, and so was Tara. And it is called Spiritual Safe House. And that is just a small piece of who Marliana is, as with most everyone in this world, how we just keep tapping more and more into where we're guided and what we know. So welcome to both of you. Thank you. So
Morning.
good morning. It is a holiday Monday here where we are in Canada. So we are all able to be here today, which is really nice. So thank you.
Happy Labor Day, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's Labor Day.
Yeah.
And I'm not wearing white.
Oh, there
you go.
Yeah, it's after Labor Day. You're not supposed to wear white. Isn't that the rule?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although the temperatures, like we were just talking about, you very well could because it's so hot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to hit around 30 degrees here in Calgary today. So
I know.
I'm hiding.
Yeah, we're 32 today too.
Oh
or
my
33.
God.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's crazy.
And Red Deer, I'm guessing, is about the same.
I don't know what it is today. I just go with the flow. I never look at the weather really much.
What do? Do you leave the house with everything? A jacket and umbrella? Do you just come fully prepared?
I listen. I listen to my guidance. Do I need a coat today? No. I'll survive.
I always have to prepare myself. So I always have to check because then it's like, okay, how much meditation do I need to do this morning? How mad am I going to be?
Oh my God.
How much do I need to center myself? And usually with the heat, I'm like, okay, so we need to do some really serious grounding and preparing myself for the heat so that I don't overheat internally and lose my mind. So, yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
The heat pairs nicely with the rage.
Yeah.
That's right.
Totally.
So how do you prepare going to Costco?
Same kind of rage. Yeah. Actually, I just did this the other day in Calgary, which shocked me. I was very much needing to prepare before I went because, as I usually do, because I get very overwhelmed, as I'm sure you guys do too. So I've been really working with setting the intention as I'm driving up to Costco. They're going to have what I want. They're going to have it, and I'm going to get it quickly, and I'm going to get out. And so my trips are really fast, which is very nice.
Oh, I love that. So, because I'm such a deep empath, sometimes I use Instacart. If I'm feeling extra sensitive, I will order Costco.
Hey, if it saves you your sanity and staying grounded, absolutely. So do you do anything before you go to big centers like Costco, Marliana, to kind of...
Other than building up my own energy, like making my energetic field big, so then I'm not absorbing other people and feeling their stuff. I really just bring my earphones. I'll put in a meditation or Ho'oponopono, something to keep me in my center while I'm trying to bob and weave out of the traffic of Costco. Cool. And I always know when it comes to an end because you feel like your battery's getting full, like we're almost done. And then it's like, Kate, need to go.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
How do I do it? I have to amp up my energy 100%. I go to a space, it's like I'm invisible. No one sees me. I am just, in my own world completely. I have been in the past where my husband we're standing in line ready to pay and he's like, you need to leave. And I'll say, what? Yeah, no, you're vibrating. You need to go. Okay, you got it. I'm off. So that's kind of like I have to get into a space where, especially, times of the year when it's extra busy. I am fortunate enough that both my husband and I could go at any time. I often send him, but if both of us are going, he knows exact what times that it's less busy. But when it's crazy busy, I just have to be in my own world because I just can't. It's too draining. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, don't you find it interesting that we have to be in our own world at times, and that makes it really hard to be in the other world? Like even like with your husband and things like that, like at Costco, like checking out, you have to be in your own world. And so when he's asking you about, do we want this or do we need this in the fridge? And you're like, not in my world, or you're like, not, like that kind of thing. I have to say, I think I'm grateful and very, very well protected by my team. And I think it comes from my social work training that I've just learned to shut that down. So I'm not too overwhelmed when I'm there.
Yeah.
But I definitely, like I said, I've really been working with the intentions, especially around Costco, that it's fast and that I get what I need and everything goes with ease and grace. And I had to go, like I said, in Calgary, which is way busier than the one I'm used to. And I was like dreading it. And then I went, nope, Tara. And so I set my intention. I got a parking spot right outside and got the one thing I needed and found it right away. Didn't have to wait at the tills. I was like in and out in like 10 minutes. And so I do that quite a bit. But I think it's because of my social work, because my team has been so amazing with keeping me safe in some very unsafe situations and some very situations that as an empath could really harm me. And I've been able to just build that skill where I'm just like, whoop, I'm locked in, I'm good, let's do this. And so I like that, which is nice.
Yeah. Well, and we do have a massive team. We have a massive team of protection always. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm a believer that if you're not listening, though, that's when you find yourself in those moments where, oh crap,
Mm.
right?
Yep.
Because they're going to tell you, get out, stay in, go this way, go that way. But if you're not listening to your team, that's when you end up in situations where you're going like, holy crap.
So
Exactly.
true. Yeah,
I
go
always
ahead.
tell. No, sorry.
No, that's fine.
I always tell everybody when we listen, we suffer less.
Yeah.
It's just that easy, right? And it's not just like our intuition. It's like the signs around you. What is Sue saying? Is there messages in her words? What is your text messages saying? Is there messages in that? It's yeah, when we listen, we suffer less.
And it's so true. And I've also found, like, along with what you're saying, is for me, when I go into the conditioning, oh, well, I should go here or I should go, I can think of, times when I've been like, no, don't go. And then I'm like, oh, but it's really important that I'm there for family, or it's really important that I'm there for whatever reason, that I fall into those shoulds of the conditioning. Um, and I do suffer. Yeah. And then you leave and you're like, I know there was a funeral, which I was like, no, don't go. And not that I wanted, of course, went into the shoulds and I was like, well, I want, like I need to be there, that kind of thing. And yeah, 3 days it took me to recover from that. And it was just like, that was not where I was supposed to be, and energetically. And I can see that now. And so, not that I wouldn't be there energetically, but I didn't need to be there in person and feel that. And so it was a good lesson in really letting go of some of those conditioning of, well, no, you should do that to be a good girl. And just listen to my team, because I was the good girl according to everyone else, but I suffered a lot for it.
And I just feel that how, like people say to you, well, how do you listen? How do you know what the signs are? But if you are not mindful and slow down enough to be in flow, you can't, there's too much happening outside that you can't listen. But when we actually stop and be in flow and just be in the moment, that is when things are so much easier to hear.
Oh, yeah.
So true.
I find too that it's not only that people like question about how do you listen or how do you hear. I think it's because a lot of people are so used to listening to the monkey mind, to their conditioning, that they can't hear it, or the monkey mind, because our intuition, for me anyhow, is it will be like, okay, don't go. And then I'm like, oh, but I should. And then I come up with like the whole big story. So my intuition is like a second and the story is like 10 minutes. So it seems like that's the stronger part, but that's just the whole monkey mind stuff. And so, do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. If you get good at sitting in the seat of self, the witness, and you can actually like watch what's going on inside of there, it's entertaining some of the stuff your brain comes up with. Right? Like even the
Isn't
most
that the truth?
positive people have negative experiences up here. We just don't entertain them.
Or attached to them for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I get it too, especially with my husband's grandmother right now. I'm like, we should go visit. We should do this. And her herself, beautiful, loving woman, but the situation as a whole, with her son living there is quite toxic. So he drains me like nobody else. And I ride his ass to do things. And I leave there feeling so gross. And I know that I'm calling in my own suffering with that. But
Mm.
I'm really working to support the woman who really needs it. So I'm okay with that part right now. I'm okay with that part. I have to be.
You're
Yeah.
consciously choosing
But
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
Well,
is
when
there
you
a
do.
way that you can support that without going to her actual house or
mm,
where she's at? Like, I don't know the circumstances, but
Yeah.
in having that quality time doing what you're called to do without the suffering, right?
Yeah, so we do. We take her out a lot. We go out for lunches, dinners. We bring her here. But the sad part is there's things that really need to be done around her home,
Oh, yeah.
like gutters, mowing the lawn, things like that, right? And he is living there under the premise of I'm going to do all this stuff, but he doesn't do a damn thing. So there's my rock and a hard place there is like she needs this stuff done. She needs her home clean, she needs groceries, and nothing is being done for her. So at some point I do interject there because she's 82 and I love her to bits and I am gonna support her and love her, but
Yeah.
man, that son.
Yeah. That's, you can't control
Nope.
anything. You have to
Nope.
just be in that space
yeah.
that you need to be in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So me being the empath I am, I've actually been like trying to figure out how I'm going to get everything done before I die. And I'm not sure if it's her, if it's my Greek neighbor next door, or if it's the political figure downstairs. I don't know who this is, but the past, I'd say 4 days, I've been feeling like I'm going to die and I need to tie up my loose ends. And I know that's not me, but I'm freaking
Wow.
out. Like I want to spend more time with people and I want to really soak things up. And I'm like, where does this land? And I haven't quite figured out that thread yet.
Mm.
That's
That's
a
good
tough
though.
one. Yeah.
It's good that you can recognize that it's not yours.
Well, yeah, could
Because,
you imagine? I'm gonna
well,
die.
yeah, exactly. Because if, and a lot don't necessarily have that skill yet of being able to decipher. Because you're a physical empath as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's really hard too. Are you too, Sue? Are you too, Sue?
Yeah, I sure am.
Oh God, isn't it fun sometimes?
I will get stuff and I will go, oh, who am I going to see today? Because you know that it's like you, Marliana, like whose is this? And who are our thoughts even ours, right? Like it's all part of being, but I personally use it. This is how I'm created, and what is my service with this gift, right? Is there something I can do, or is it just I just need to be empathic, or yeah, empathic toward the person. You know, it's just what is, right?
Do you find with your physical empathy, the medical intuitive stuff pops up?
I kind of don't let that, because
Interesting.
I
Cool.
I'm okay. And the reason behind that is I feel like we all have a choice. Yes, you know, sometimes we don't have a choice when we are sick, what the outcome is going to be, but we also have a choice in um, when we discover something is going on physically, what we could do. Should we be eating better? Should we be exercising? So I just feel that, you know, going into those aspects, I try not to, because I always feel that there's a choice in that. Disease is, you know, we're not following our path, we're not being authentic, but there's all the things that go with that, right? So for me, it's like, okay, let's discover what's going on here rather than focusing on the medical side of things. So I kind of, I don't go there usually. So
I
yeah.
That's a good
usually,
perspective.
when I do stuff like that, what I'm guided to is there's soul lessons that are attached to things that they may or may not be conscious of, and that's kind of my role. And so I work with the soul instead of the physical being, because
Yeah.
whatever's manifesting in the physical, it's like, and so I detach from what happens to the physical because it's about the soul. And that's kind of what I had to do with my husband too. um, I didn't when I was working with my husband because, of course, I wanted to save him. But that was the big lesson from that is I know when he passed that his soul was ready.
Yeah.
And I mean, he said he was, but that was not the point of us doing the work together. The point of us doing the work was, I mean, going into it, I thought and hoped and wanted it to be for the physical, obviously for obvious reasons. Um, but that's what came out of it for my learning is that it wasn't about that. It was about preparing his soul for what was coming and getting him to where his soul needed to be for him to transition. And so that really taught me on that deep level. So when I do work with people, I'm not attached to, but I can tell you why it's showing up in your physical and I can explain it.
Yep.
And like Sue said, then it's your choice. And so, and I say that because I know a lot of people then take that when you say it's your choice, doesn't necessarily mean it's conscious. That's your soul's choice. And the
Yes.
soul has chosen this, whatever it's chosen, I don't know. But it's chosen to do what it's going to do.
It is
Yeah.
so interesting
So,
how that shows up for both of you. It really is. My medical intuitive skills uh have increased, and it's funny, they've increased. Fucking Costco again. That stupid weekender bag that was there, it looks like a freaking doctor's purse, the old one. I got
oh,
myself
okay.
one. And that thing comes with me. I put my books in there, my pencils, my sweater, my neck fan, like menopause, right? So I have it all with me and I tote it all around. And I'm like, isn't this frigging funny that I have this doctor bag and my medical intuitive stuff is really coming forward? But it's interesting because it's kind of the same as you both, just a little different parallel. It's very similar. So I do go in and I go, okay, there's breast cancer in the family. Your kidneys are screaming at me. But this can be why. So when it comes to Chinese medicine, your kidneys represent your fear. So let's talk about that. Breast
Mm-hmm.
health is directly correlated to your lungs, depression, anxiety, grief, right? So what are we holding on to in our lungs that generationally speaking, maybe is the cause of the breast cancer? So we actually like look at lines down and try and find the root of what's going on in the disease, right? Because your body keeps the score generationally as well. So
Mhm.
it's interesting how it shows up for each of us. That's really cool.
That's cool. So do you feel, or do you just get a knowing, like, do you see it? Like, what is your gift in discovering what the medical is telling you?
I see it, I hear it. Sometimes I taste it, which is weird because I'll sit here and go, like, there's this taste of like autism. And they'll go, how do you taste it? And I go, I don't fucking know. It just happens. Like I taste it, and then the like feelings and the words will come up with the taste. Sometimes I will see like breast removal, I'll see surgeries happening, that kind of thing. Um, it's very cool. And oftentimes I'll feel it. I'll feel
Interesting.
people's headaches, I'll feel their ulcers, I'll feel their surgeries and like the stints put in, and it's very interesting.
So here's an interesting question for both of you. When you're sensing or feeling stuff like that, if you haven't been asked, do you tell people?
If we are in a session, yes, absolutely, because they've agreed to the session, they agree to sit and hear what I have to say. I will share it with them, and I do share that it is free will and personal choice, that things always can shift and change depending on how you heal, how you grow your perspective, etc. Right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm more
And I
so,
will
go
go ahead.
ahead. No, you go ahead.
Okay. I will go into discovering, and there's something that is, whatever the issue is, like from the soul level. And if you don't look at these aspects like the anger or whatever, right? If you don't look at these and discover what the purpose behind of it, and your soul is telling you, this will show up, and it'll show up physically. And always, if you're not listening, and this, both of you know this, if we're not listening to our soul and where we're guided and what we're supposed to be, the path that we're supposed to be on, it'll just show up physically until you start listening. It'll scream, right?
Mm,
Like, what's the
Yes.
underlying issue, right? I had a
yeah.
toothache
Yes.
the other day, and Tara's like, oh, well, is this happening in your life? And it's like, it's interesting, right? It's just
Hmm.
how it is.
Yeah,
Oh, it's so
absolutely.
fascinating.
Yeah.
So fascinating. And that's what I usually get guided to. So in sessions when people say, oh, like I'm having issues with my knee or whatever, I'm like, oh, okay. Do you know? So this is what this is about. And usually when I do the energy healing too, where the energy is moving from or how it's moving out
Hmm.
tells me a lot about them physically as well. So I go all on my intuition on that and my guidance on that, on why that's showing up for them. Because energy is so different for everyone. So it doesn't necessarily, you know, show up where you expect it to. Because even I work with the acupressure points too. And so it may be spleen energy, but it's not showing up on the meridian or anything. Or on the spleen, it's
Hmm.
showing up somewhere else. And that's what it's tied to, which is, I feel like I'm kind of almost a detective in a way, because it's like, how am I connecting the dots? And they always connect. Like our reading that we did this morning, the live this morning, it's like everything, and we all looped like kind of around, and it was just this big little, yeah, the whole
Same.
session was, yeah, I don't even know how to say it. This whole thing, it was just the path that we needed to take. And then it, like a gem essence came in at the end, which I find they tend to come more in at the end of my readings. And
Hmm.
it was like the sugar on the cake. It was like the frosting on the cake. It was just like it summed it all up and put it all together. So calling that in was just a way to kind of summarize. It was like, here you go, this is what it's about. And it's exactly what we started with.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just so beautiful.
It is. It is. It's cool how our bodies talk to us. And I believe, this is my belief, that we are all empathic. Every single person, just as we are intuitive, but it's stopping to feel. And it's funny because most people, they hit, I don't know, 40, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, I feel this about people. Oh, how do I know this? And it's just funny. Oh, you're finally in tune, right? You're finally slowing down enough to get in tune with your surroundings, all of it, right? So it's cool.
Well, and that's what they kind of with the age thing, it's because it's no surprise that it all kind of falls in line, because that's when you hit kind of the supposed midlife crisis, where you start to question, okay, what have I been doing for the last how many years? And it usually is the eye awakening that most people need to tune into themselves, because they've been giving, especially women, have been giving so much. Well, I don't want to say especially women, because men do, but not in men give their all, I suppose, most typically give their all within their work, because that's the provider energy that they're, and the conditioning that they're stuck in. Whereas females give their all in work too, probably, but generally speaking, it's to others because they people please. And so both are giving their energy away. And then it's at that midlife point where they go, wait a minute, I deserve some of this too. And that's, like you said, Sue, that's when they start paying attention to themselves. And that's why they kind of can tune into that, because they've stopped giving it all out, the exterior, and started tuning in, which I think is beautiful.
That is super beautiful. I had a mentor years ago tell me that you have to have enough human experiences before you open up to yourself and to the divine.
Ooh, I
And
like that.
right? And he explained it like we have to go through all of these things. We pick them and we choose them, and then we have to go through them for the growth and the expansion and the lessons, but also to be able to have shared experiences with people, right? People like us have to have these big experiences to be able to resonate with the person sitting in front of you, to be able to have that compassion for somebody else. So that was one of the first things I learned, was you have to have enough human experience before you can tune into yourself and tune into the divine.
Mm,
Yep.
interesting.
Yeah, it's very lower Dantian, like the three Dantians, right? The lower
Yep.
one is very 3D physical, and the top two are your spiritual. Most of us hit maybe the 1, 2. People like us will hit 1, 2, 3, and we'll go through all three very fluidly.
Yep.
Mm,
Well, and we are the best teachers of who we used to be, always. And
Exactly.
it's funny, not funny, but this is how often spirit talks to me. I have so many people going through what I have gone through that sit across from me, many people, and as you guys do too, I know. But there's an aspect here that spirit will start showing me my own story. And then I'll
mm,
go, okay, wait a minute here. This is, I'm going to save you 15 years of healing right now, because that's the road I took.
yeah.
So here
Exactly.
you go, right? It's cool. It's cool.
It's very cool. And I've had some people tell me that you've given me clarity that would have taken 20 years to unfold. I'm like, it's only because I've had the experience, babe.
But do you find too, though, that like saying that, because it used to take, like, I know, Marliana, you're fairly new to the path, but you're full on it. But you said, like, you kind of, when we talked last time, that you said it was kind of your awakening was, or your bigger awakening was, you know, um I don't remember exactly when, but like
It would have
not,
been my car accident in 2018. I've been
yeah,
connected my whole life, but I really
yeah,
stepped into it in 2018.
right. Um, but I think we are, even like the ones who have been on the path for a while,
Mhm.
have, the energies are so strong now, it's so fast that, a lot of people are like, oh, and I still get in that too. When something new comes up, it's like, oh, I gotta unpack this now. Like that's gonna take like years. And then it's like, nope. And I always get the guidance. It's like, nope, just let it go. Oh yeah, I can do that now. But we're so supported by the energies being so strong that it's like things that we felt. Oh, I'll speak for me because I don't know if it's the same for you guys. But things that I felt like needed to do a lot more work, or like, no, I just need to make the choice right now. And sometimes it moves. I feel like I'm on the matrix where it's like those things just like flash through, and then I'm like, oh, and we just let that go. Oh,
Uh-huh.
that's gone now. And it's just like, holy crap, it's moving so much faster.
Yeah. Well, there's a space where, well, when I started, you got to fix, you got to, absolutely, we have to discover what our traumas are, but we have to also realize they're not who we are. They're a piece of us, but we're moved. Well, when I was going through all my changes, it was like, oh, you got to fix, you got to fix, you got to fix. And all you did was work on yourself. And it's just like, okay, is this ever going to end? No. But now it's like, okay, I understand what this past trauma is telling me. Now I'm going to let that go and I'm going to follow my new path, this, this healing path. And it just gets easy. I find it gets easier. So you still have the hard shit,
Of
but it's
course.
still easier.
Yeah. I find the same thing, Tara. I'll be like doing dishes or I will be focused on laundry and things will just come up and they'll come up and leave, come up and leave, come up and leave. I'm like, man, I'm getting good at letting go. But sometimes you just have to create that space for those feelings too, right? You just got to feel them.
And I
If
think
you
that's
feel
like,
them, they have the space to leave.
well, and like Sue was saying, I think because we allow it, and so, and we have gotten so aware that we can just make the choice and move through it, because we've let go of the stories. There was
Yeah.
something else I was going to say, but I can't remember now.
Let go of
We
the
are
conditioning
conditioned
too.
though in that aspect,
Oh, so conditioned.
right? We're conditioned to fix, go inward. Yeah, we do. We do
Oh,
need to
that
go
says
inward. Okay, go ahead. Yep.
no. That's okay. I was going to say that fixing thing is so. It's that's where I call it my spiritual overlord. It became an ego aspect of myself that was spiritual, and it became like the rule maker. Like it's like, oh, you're breaking a spiritual rule, you're a naughty spiritual girl. And then and it became so, because it made it really hard, because it's everything that I believe and I know in my heart, but yet ego attached to it. And so it became the ego boss overlord. That's why I call it the overlord, because it was like, that's not spiritual. And it's like, yeah. And so it's really interesting because, like I said, it's my truth. It's absolutely my truth, but it's doing it in a very ego way. And that became a really hard one, because it's like, you're right, but not really. And not right. The right is the right word, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, there's a space here. It's for me, it's about being rather than
Mm-hmm.
always doing, right? Um, the spiritual world is hard because there's so many aspects of it and there's so much ego attached to it, and that's not a judgment.
Nope.
But in order for us to see that, we have to be totally being and being inward, and doing, like you said, it feels right. It's your truth, right? Our beliefs and truths are totally two different things. Whatever our truth is does not mean it's truth for everyone. It just has to be truth for us. And we tend to forget that we just need to be within to hear and follow the path.
Yeah. So true. It's so about being. But that's where I struggled for years, because my spiritual overlord, like I said, it was all about following the rules. And it was just a new version of the ego that I'd worked through, my other ego, which I
Mm-hmm.
would have to say, I prefer that one over the spiritual overlord, because, like I said, the other one I can detach from more so, but the spiritual is very true to my heart, but it puts all the boundaries up about it. And so it's like, are you being nasty or are you being nice? Like, are you being my overlord? Because you're speaking truth, but you're speaking in a very boxed in ego way on how to do it. And so you're so true about that being, because
Yeah.
that's definitely, yeah.
When you mentioned the boxed in ego way, is that a judgment?
Oh, here we go.
It's the truth for me of the ego is that it likes its comfort zone. It
Oh,
likes
100%.
its boxed in kind of, and that's what I was meaning. Like
Oh, okay.
the rules of, like, to be good spiritual, you need to meditate, this often, or you need to. That's what I mean. The boxed in part of,
Yeah.
whereas with when I'm being and when I'm in flow, and that's my truth as well, is that if I don't feel like meditating, I'm not going to. If I feel like meditating at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to. If I feel like meditating at noon, I'm going to. But the ego likes the box of, oh, it's morning, you need to meditate, and you need to meditate for 2 hours, or, whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I meant by the boxed in. So I don't
Okay.
know. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
not saying no, because there's always growth and learning.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, the comfort of the boxed in.
Yeah. But also, like, I feel that we are so different. Again, like I said, our truths are different. Everything, we are made up differently. What Marliana feels about the medical stuff is like way different than me. So
Mm-hmm.
I would never want to be as someone else is, 100%. But like there are no rules. People say, well, how do you see? Well, I see differently than you see. I cognitively, I hear, all of the stuff. It just comes through totally different. It's like having the same vehicle drive down the highway, same color, same make, same model, same engine, same. We're not like that. We're not like
No.
that. And for us to really discover how we need to, people ask me to teach them how to do things. It's like, you know what, I can only teach you the way I know how to do it, because that's all I know, right? For me, meditation for me is doing automatic writing. Meditation for me is walking, going to hug a tree, doing my dishes is meditation. Like, it's just
Absolutely.
that mindful stuff, right?
Oh, absolutely. And it is so different for everyone. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Marliana. I know
I,
we
ca-
can get on a roll.
I call it the spiritual recipe, right? We are all unique. We're all in our own little soup bowl, and everything that works for us will not work for the next person. So personally, in my sessions with people, I've learned many different ways, like the mindfulness meditation that is so Buddhist, right? Focusing on your breath, breathing in, we're listening, breathing out, we're aware, like all of these things. But I really work to get like 3 or 4 different similar parallels for people, so then they can go through and find what works for them. And if that doesn't work, then I compile more information for them and we go from there, because I know what works for me isn't going to work for you, and maybe it will, which is great, but I want to give you the options.
Mm.
Yep. Perfect. Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah.
I find the more that I listen to my soul, the more it just
Mhm.
tells me. And I'll
Mhm.
do things and I'll be like, I don't know why, but I feel like doing this. And then all of a sudden I'll learn about it later, and it's like, okay. Like, even with eating and things like that, like, I just intuitively eat now, and it's like, oh, I feel like and then later it'll come out that that's like this vitamin or this whatever, or works on this thing, and it's like, I didn't know that. Like, even with some of the supplements I take, it's like I'll be guided to one and I'll just be like, okay, I'm taking the supplement, and all how many and how much and all that kind of stuff. And then I'll be like, it'll come out, like, I'll see on posts later, oh, this supplement is for this. And I'm like, oh, that's why I'm taking it. And I don't even know, because it's just listening. And again, I'm not giving medical advice. That I always have to say that. But it's about listening, because our souls truly know how to, I always say, it's all like a ball of yarn, and it knows how to unravel all of that we've experienced and all that we've put into our bodies, mind, body, and soul, like, in all ways that we put into our bodies and everything else. It knows how to unravel and uncover that. And so, to think that I know better than my soul that knows the path, why would I listen to someone else, or why would I listen to anything else when my soul can tell me, okay, this is what you need, and you need it for a couple days, or you don't need it today, or that kind of thing. It's, why would I listen to anybody else?
It is such a terribly human condition to seek the external, right? We all want answers out here. This is where all the answers are, and people are going to help me out here. We fail to see, or forget. I don't want to say fail. We forget, or maybe it's not in our awareness to see we have everything we need right here.
This is conditioned out of us. That's
Totally
exactly,
conditioned out of us.
that's exactly what I'm, for our new book is called Intuition. And that's exactly what I'm writing about, is like why we struggle to follow our own authority. And we just talked about that today, hey Sue?
Yep.
On our
It's
live.
all must be the theme of today.
It is.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know
It
what? I
is,
had a
though.
moment last night. I was sitting outside with my husband and we were discussing our front yard. We like it biodiverse, so we put cedar mulch out there every year and we have the bird feeders out. And of course, sunflowers are sprouting because of the bird feeder, and it's really a beautiful thing. And I was looking out there and I was going, we're going to need to replace our mulch next year. And then something took over me and I was yelling at the powers that be, why the hell do I have to pay for mulch? I am the mulch. Why do I have to pay for it? I had this whole freaking moment. Like, I am the tree. Why do I have to pay for it? It was this whole thing.
Uh,
That's
we all have
awesome.
to have them.
I just interjected and went far right field there, but yeah,
That's
I had
all
this
right.
this moment of like, why am I paying for things when I am the milk, when I am the water, when I am the mulch? This capitalism thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
capitalist conditioning.
yeah. Yeah. Well, it's no different than, you know, we seek ways to, here's an example, lose weight, right? So we're looking for something outside of ourselves rather than what is the issue that why we're not eating properly or exercising enough. And I'm not the perfect weight, but there's like my husband says, it'll happen when you are ready, rather than looking for a quick fix. We're so jumped into like, this is going to help me get there. This is going to get me there quicker. This is going to be, instead of going, hey, wait a minute, what is it that I require? Oh, drink more water. Okay. Walk more. Okay. Right. Instead of buying hundreds and thousands of dollars worth of whatever. And I'm not against any of that. It's what, if you're called to it, then that's what you're called to it. And
Yeah.
that just, you know, with anything, it doesn't have to just be, you know, with anything. It's like learning. We could go to university forever, right? I'm not against that. Are you looking for someone to teach it to you? But you could probably sit and learn it within, right? With most things, not all things, but yeah.
Well, and I mean, Sue and I, we've had this conversation before. We are tapped into all of it if we're tapped in. We are tapped into all of it. So we don't need to go outside of ourselves. But again, like you said, and maybe the reason that you're being called to that course isn't necessarily to get the certificate, but it's to meet the next person who you're going to be business partners with or to connect with, and, you know, like that kind of thing. And I think that's where we struggle too, following that intuition or following that guidance, is because we have the expected, oh, I'm being guided to do Reiki, so I'm going to be a Reiki master. But maybe that's not why you're being guided to that. Maybe you're just being guided to that to teach you one simple aspect of it. And so, but we hold on to that expectation, and it's like, well, why is my Reiki business not working? Because you're not meant to do Reiki. You were just meant to take that course to meet so and so, or, you know, whatever. And so I think we get in the expectation of, okay, that's why I'm being told to do this. And it's not really why we think we're there.
Yep.
It's for
Well,
some other aspect.
Yeah,
Or for something.
Yeah, exactly. There's probably 90% of the people ask me, what's my passion? What's my passion? What am I supposed to be when I grow up? Right?
I
Like
know.
it's a big thing. And one of the first things I tell them is, what excites you? What can you do to lose complete track of time, where you go, oh my goodness, I've been at this for 6 hours. It felt
Yes.
like an hour. What is that? And if that's a class, a pottery class, whatever, and what's going to happen is you're going to go to that pottery class and you're going to meet someone that is going to take you to where you need to go. Right.
Yeah.
And it's all about listening. It's all about stopping, slowing down, and losing track of time. We're so time ridden.
I know. I always
Absolutely.
tell people time's just poo-pooey. Don't pay attention
We're
to time.
losing that though. That's starting, well, it's going away in my world anyway.
Me
I
too.
do have appointments, but that's part of where we're at right now. But I, like Tara, right? If it's time to eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, then if I'm hungry, I eat. Why am I waiting for the clock to strike 12? You know, I'm fortunate enough that I don't have a 9 to 5, that I have to eat at a certain time. So it's part of the process of listening.
Absolutely. And there's colonization around eating too. Why do we have to eat 3 meals a day? We don't.
Yeah.
It's the most important meal of the day.
It's not, right? I've always been told you eat when the sun is at the highest. So like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, that should be your first meal of the day. That's what I've always been taught. That's my circadian rhythm. I don't eat until later in the day. Yeah, there's a lot around that.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
so much. The more you dig into conditioning, the more you realize how conditioned we are. And
Mm,
like you're saying too, to just be sounds like such a simple thing, and it is a simple thing, but freaking hard work to just be. Because to, you know, why am I, not doing anything today? Or why am I, that kind of thing that always comes up. And to just be sounds simple, but is very, takes a lot of awareness. Like, I don't want to sound like it's impossible, but it just takes a lot of awareness
it
and a
does.
lot of being present to make that choice every moment of every day
Mm-hmm.
to just be. And that's a lot of work.
It is a lot
And
of work.
our ego stops us from being. But what people, and this just, I can only speak from my own experience. The more I'm being, the more rewarded my life is. And is it worth going through the struggle of being to reap all of the rewards?
Oh,
It
so
is in my
worth it.
world.
So, so, so worth it. I know. But yeah, it is it exactly. Like it's so, yeah, it's how we're meant to be.
Well, and I think some of that's like the conditioning of, let's say maybe the patriarch, the masculine energy, right? Doing, running the rat race, money, 3D stuff, really like distracting ourselves from that feminine divine of just being.
Mm-hmm.
Like just being is progress. It's so much progress. And that is a lifelong condition that so many people take to unwind from. My husband's in his mid 40s and he's just learning how to be. He always tells me, I always feel pressured to do something. I'm like, by who? And he's like, me? I'm like, well, stop it. Like you could just sit. You could do nothing. It's okay.
Yeah.
100%.
There's
100%.
so much loaded into that too. Like,
Oh, so much.
yeah, it's the conditioning. It's a lot of fear. I find it's a lot of fear because if we stop running, all of a sudden everything catches up to us. Like everything that we've been running from, there it is.
Mhm.
And that is
It's funny.
hugely scary to people.
Yeah. Quite a few years ago, um, my husband used to always have the TV on. First thing he got up in the morning on a Saturday, turn the TV on. And it's funny. And I go, why do you need that on? Well, I just need the noise. And I go, oh, so you can't hear yourself? So you can't get the messages? Like just let me into your
Yep.
world. And now we're lucky if the TV comes on before 7 p.m. Like it's cool. It's awesome. You
Mm-hmm.
just be, right?
That's really beautiful. That is
I
really beautiful.
I can
Yeah.
totally see you and your husband having that conversation and being,
I may have called them out,
yeah, no kidding.
but
Um,
I used to be the same way, right? Like it's just where it's the phases we go through, right? And it's part of,
absolutely.
but once you get there, the rewards, you can't undo what the progress is.
Exactly. But in saying that, I believe personally that you can be spiritual and still be attached to your phone 24/7. You can be spiritual and still watch TV all the time and not go out and be in awareness and be in the flow. I I don't know, there's a lot around that. And I think for people who are just stepping onto the path, we've got to understand that we can give our will to our highest good and to learn without hurting. None of this has to hurt. And I think that's one of the biggest takeaways for me. Like, I really struggled in the beginning.
Mm,
Man, did I struggle. And when I learned that, my highest good can take over and it doesn't have to hurt to be in this position, things opened, like in so many ways.
Well, now, like I go into, if there is anything like a struggle or a door closing, it's like, okay, well, what's right about it, right? Or what is it? Okay, let's cut the crap in between the 2 years of discovering all the pain. Okay, let's just open the box. What do I need to learn here? Just give it
Yep.
to me, right? And you face it because you know that once you get through it, there's the rewards again, right? It's part of
Absolutely.
learning it, right?
Yeah.
Kind
It's
of fun.
that again, it's that expectation that highest good is fun. Sometimes, or easy, or the rainbows and puppy dogs and everything. Sometimes your highest good is the bee stings and the ouchies
Yes.
and
Yes.
everything else. And if you can let go of the part of that suffering, because the part that's suffering is the one who wants the story, the ego self who wants the why me, this isn't fair, this is really hard, this is a struggle, this is bad, that kind of thing, where it's like, yeah, that kind of sucked, but I know it's in my highest good.
Yes.
So, and letting go of that good bad thing too.
It's just different. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just different.
Very true.
And sometimes I'll ask myself, why are you going back into the suffering? Why are you saying yes to this person? Why are
Right?
you, right? Oh, you want to go back into the suffering? Okay, well, keep saying yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's all part of it, right?
It is all part of it. And sometimes those people come back around on your spiral path to just show you how much you've grown too.
Yeah. That's what
Right?
someone said to me. There was something, a client, and they said, well, why is this happening? I've been through this. I said, it's one last test.
Mm-hmm.
And are you gonna pass? Or are you gonna
Mm-hmm.
just choose to suffer some more? Yeah.
I agree with what you're saying, but I've actually taken the word test out because that felt very like pass fail kind of thing. And so I'm like,
Oh,
it's my opportunity to reaffirm where I want to be.
oh, I like that.
Ooh, I like that.
So the universe is providing me the opportunity to reaffirm that this is who I want to be.
And you're back in your power.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it. Okay, I think we're good for
I know
today.
that was like, it just
That was
all of a
awesome.
sudden came to a natural, quiet,
Yeah.
being
Well,
in
maybe
flow.
we'll have to revisit the three of us again for sure. I feel like it's just it's always good to hear all of the perspectives, more perspectives, whatever. Tapping into all the stuff. Everyone has something to learn from someone, right? And how they need
Absolutely.
to hear it. So,
I
well,
always
thank you,
tell people
ladies.
the messages are for both of us.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah, there's always, even when we speak our own words, there's lessons or messages always. So, well, thank you, ladies.
Thank
And
you.
Yes, thank you for spending your
I will
Monday
put
mornings.
I'll put all of everyone's links in the comments, and for anyone to reach out to either of you guys, and we will have a great rest of our sunny day.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. You guys are
Thank
awesome.
you.
All right, we'll see you guys.